So, I have an original story that I've been working on for my portfolio. Someday I do want to turn into a webcomic, though that's definitely not going to be coming anytime soon, unfortunately. I still have to plan out a lot of the story and design even more characters, but I digress. Recently, my friend who has been working on this story with me has made all of their characters non-canon, so naturally I have to design replacements for them, so this way there's no plot holes. And today I'm going to be walking you through the design process for one of them. Just for a little bit of context about this world that these characters reside in, it's essentially a circus turned into a city, or rather a city that's run by the circus. The story itself is a dark fantasy dystopia, with the goal being to take down the corrupt government. The character that I'm designing today is someone who works in the circus, but also has roots within the government. So those are the two main aspects that I wanted to keep in mind when creating their outfit and choosing their colors. Of course, I started by designing their face. I kind of wanted to exaggerate some of their facial proportions, and I found that giving them a longer face and more oddly shaped eyes would do the trick. I haven't really done this kind of eye shape before, so I thought it would make them a little bit more unique. Their eyes also kind of inspired me to make them a bit of a scaredy cat. Their whole character is that they're always paranoid and anxious about everything. And their paranoia brings me to my next point. Within this world, most of the characters have some sort of physical attribution that was caused by some trauma they experienced. And so for this character, whose name is Tobias, by the way, they have eyes that grow on the back of their head as a result of their anxiety and paranoia. The more their anxiety spikes, the more eyes that pop up. Also, when messing around with their nose shape, I liked the idea of giving them an animalistic nose, so I decided to turn them into a fawn. I'm always more drawn to creating fawn characters rather than satyrs. I just think that it makes them that much more interesting. I have another OC who I think was originally supposed to be a satyr, but I ended up turning her into a fawn because, again, it's just more interesting to me. There's not quite as many fawn characters or fawn designs out there in comparison to satyrs. I also thought that it would be fun if, in universe, Tobias is often mistaken for a satyr, so he has to correct people a lot. Another idea that came about when I decided to give them hooves was that they would be really good at balance, so their main trick is walking the tightrope. As for the colors, I actually had a lot of trouble coming up with their colors, but I knew I wanted to keep their face blue because in this story, blue signifies the government. Although the characters don't directly acknowledge this color association, it is a key part of a lot of their designs. Red and pink also signify being a part of the circus, so I gave Tobias a lot of pink in his design. And then the other, faction or segment is anyone associated with the military, and the color of those characters is primarily green. Next, after designing Tobias, I went ahead and created their character sheet. I wanted to really take the opportunity to show off how anxious he is with his posing, so I went with a more closed-off pose for the front view. I did, however, want to make sure that there was still some sort of unobscured reference for the front of their outfit, so in one of the poses to the right, I drew them bouncing on a ball, which requires them to not close themselves off so much. The expressions were especially fun to do. Probably the part I was looking forward to most when finalizing the reference. I loved trying to come up with what he would really look like if he was frightened of something. He already looks scared as it is, but that's only due to his paranoia, so I thought, what would he look like if he was actually confronted by someone or something scary? And of course, even if they are scared of everything, they still have to smile every once in a while. Their smile is a nervous one, but it's a smile nonetheless. And so, here's the final design for Tobias. I hope you love them as much as I do. They were so much fun to create, and I can't wait for the day that I can actually begin sharing more of the story with you all in the form of a webcomic. I've been developing it for quite some time now, making notes on a few Google Docs about the world, characters, and various plot points. I want to be able to get all of that finished up before I actually start working on the comic, so it'll be a while, but hopefully not too far into the future. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my other character design videos. I recently did an in-depth look into my current process, talking about how important storytelling is when designing your characters. I did mention in this video a little bit here and there that I was taking into account the world and the story when I was designing him, but the video in the card goes into a much more detailed look at that whole process. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you can catch my next video.